Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell was that?
It was a blooper reel. That's what that
Yeah,
was.
yeah, I know. Shut up.
And scene.
And scene. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. Sadly without Chris this week, although if she wants to come back anytime, she's welcome, because she was fantastic last week.
Oh, yes.
Kat, you have great taste in friends. That awkward silence tells me everything I need to know. So, this week we're doing the Caves of Androzani. Considered by many to be the best classic story, well, ever. I'm not sure I would go that far. It did top the 40th anniversary poll.
And it is number 3rd in the 50th anniversary poll.
Number 3rd.
But number the 3rd.
It's number the 3rd.
Number 3rd, yes.
But yeah, it's very, very well regarded by fans, this.
Oh, I was wrong. It's number 4th.
I am number 4th.
Number the 4th.
Yes.
Jinx. So... yeah, and
really,
to talk about this classic Doctor Who serial.
Each other.
And to talk about this classic Doctor Who serial, I'm joined by my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, he's in too deep and he's trying to keep up above in his head instead of going under. It's Freezing Inferno.
Hi, kids. I read all of Chainsaw Man this week. And now I'm cursed to see Makima from Chainsaw Man everywhere I go on Twitter.com. But it's okay because I got Rainiac to finish season 1 of Symphogear. And last week's guest, Chris, to start Symphogear.
Yeah, and now I'm getting constantly bombarded on my Twitter timeline with Symphogear content, so it balances out.
Save me.
Balance, as all things should be. We'll have to hear about how you like the show later.
Yeah, but let's get to Doctor Who first. And to help us with that, to my virtual right... she has a pack of alpacas in her backpack. It's Kat.
By the way, did anybody happen to notice this cave that's right here that just opened up mysteriously?
Aladdin's cave?
No. Give me a second. Hey guys? Guys, there's weird stuff in here. Hello?
Oh god, don't touch the don't eat the mushroom.
Wait, hang on. I found something, I think. No, there's water in here, and it's just really weird in here. I mean, what's that?
So you're with me? What the?
Look out, it's Batman.
So our other co-host has just been attacked by Dr. Kurt Langstrom, and I think she's out of commission.
Right, well, now I have to stretch my feet on the virtual right.
Okay, so the show must go on. So we'll find.
The fuck?
I have new sounds and abilities.
He's powered up. We're totally fucked.
Also, I'm just having fun over here.
I gathered as much.
Oh, hey, here's something for Frez.
Oh no, it's the Mara.
What the hell was that?
A snake.
It's a rattlesnake.
I see.
And I'm not talking about Steve Austin. So, the Caves of Androzani.
Number 4th best Doctor Who story of all time. Interesting prospect, but I think this is our first classic Doctor Who regeneration story.
The Time and the Rani.
Well, Time and the Rani, yeah, I guess, but one where technically, but also one where it's built up to the big regeneration at the end.
Let's see, we've not done that story. We've not done that yet. No. Yeah, you're right.
Oh wait, the movie, the TV movie.
We did the movie. We did Night of the Doctor. Those technically count as well. But
Yeah.
So this is the final Peter Davison serial.
God, and what a note he bows out on.
And written by, once again, the legendary Robert Holmes, coming back again after a years-long hiatus from writing the show to write the Fifth Doctor's finale.
Yeah, Robert Holmes with additional material by Eric Sarwood.
Oh, his fingers are on this,
And for once, his additional material doesn't suck.
Wow!
It actually adds to the story quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a
Believe that.
miracle.
That is kind of a miracle, but it's kind of interesting the way the story goes. But well, let's talk about it.
Okay, well, we begin on Androzani Minor with the Doctor and his companion Peri Brown, exiting the TARDIS, and straight away we have a bit of a production issue here.
Oh, really?
Well, you've probably spotted it immediately, but they have a big wide zoom out as they're exiting the TARDIS, and they're talking about something.
Mm-hmm.
You might notice their mouths were not moving.
Oh, what the hell's
This
going
was
on there?
all ADR'd in because there was a strike at the time of this being recorded. And 2 scenes had to be cut as a result.
That makes
Well.
sense.
This was supposed to start inside the TARDIS, with the Doctor giving Peri an explanation as to why they'd come to Androzani Minor.
I see.
It had to be removed, and then some of the dialogue in this scene referenced the cut content, so they had to ADR in some new dialogue that didn't mention it.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They covered up quite well.
Well, I wouldn't say quite well. I was still wondering what the heck was
Yeah,
going on.
it's obviously
because-
ADR'd, but it's not too jarring. And Peri,
Yeah.
we meet for the first... Well, not the first time. We've done stories with Peri before, but chronologically, this is the earliest story we've done with Peri in it.
Yeah.
Because she
This
was
is
only
her
introduced
sec-
last time in the Planet of Fire.
Yep.
She's quite sassy here.
Also,
So wait, did she only have like 2 serials with the 5th Doctor?
Yep.
On her own, 1. This is her 1 solo adventure with the Fifth Doctor.
Oh.
and well, she is in the planet. Yeah, that's where
She's introduced in Planet of Fire, but Turlough's in that as well.
Okay.
Also, I will say one thing. Nicola Bryant's American accent kind of sucks in this scene.
It's very obvious that she's an English woman putting on an American accent, which isn't as obvious in other stories, especially when she tries to say the word glass.
Yeah. She doesn't say, yeah, even when she's doing, oh, but doctor, or what about the glass?
She doesn't say glass like an American would.
She doesn't say glass, she says glass.
Yes.
I mean, I barely noticed, but I'm so used to listening to British people speak by this point that I'm not phased.
Yeah,
I think that was an insult, but we'll move on.
Yeah, she does get better at the accent as her tenure goes on.
Oh, definitely she does. And I think you've got to give her a bit of a pass because this was her first full-time serial playing Peri.
Yeah.
So I do need to say, you know how everybody's like, oh, the 6th Doctor treated Peri so badly. I mean, he was terrible to her. The 5th Doctor started the trend. He's not the nicest to Peri in this serial.
No, but he doesn't try to strangle her, so that's a plus.
Well, yeah, it's like he did, in the end, sacrifice his life for Peri, which, kudos to him, but he still isn't the nicest to her.
Not at all, no.
No, not really.
But this planet is very desolate and deserted. It looks like a dump, basically.
There's tracks that are on the ground.
Yeah, there are tracks. And then we cut to underground where there are some miners with guns.
Guns
and
in
one
a
of them
story
gets eaten by a Gru. I mean dragon.
Guns in the story of Eric Saber? What are you talking about? What?
And one of them gets eaten by a Gru. And by Gru, I mean dragon.
Yeah, this is the kind of dumb shit where it's like, oh, it's clearly there because, oh, you've got to have a monster in the Doctor Who.
Please welcome Eric Sayward's first contribution to the Caves of Androzani.
No, what? No, are you fucking with me or?
He came up with the idea of a monster.
Oh, for the love of fuck!
Which, to be honest, although it looks quite impressive, I'm not sure you need it.
You don't need it
because there are other
appears,
much more impressive
3
threats.
times in this serial?
Yeah, there are other much more impressive threats in this story.
Like all the people with fucking guns.
Yeah, the people with the guns, other characters
or
we're
how
going to
about
meet.
Shera's?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big threat as well. Great character show is Jet, but we're not at him yet.
Yeah,
We're not-
but just to make sure we cover this thing that's apparently called a Magma Beast, you see it once here where it kills one of the miners with the guns. And then you see it later as it threatens these other guys with guns, who we won't mention just yet. And then you see it dead.
Yeah, it makes 3 appearances.
That's it. Great
Totally.
use of the costume, guys.
Great contribution, Mr. Soward.
God almighty.
5 out of 7. But anyway, back to the Doctor and Peri. Peri decides to act like a tribute in the Hunger Games and falls into a pod.
She does a full-on acrobat tumble down this hole.
Oh yeah.
This thing is a pod from the Hunger Games. You cannot convince me otherwise.
It's obviously an egg from Alien. So
Okay, so I've just looked it up. Seward writes 2 scenes, and he also came up with the idea of the Magma Beast.
I see.
So he makes 3 contributions, and only one of them is bad, which is the Magma Beast. So
It's still a pretty good track record.
yeah,
for
5
Eric
out of 7 is
Sayward.
not a bad
Yeah,
rating for the
not
whole
bad.
thing, to be honest with you.
Considering the man wrote fucking Earthshock.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting thing. I mean, we're spoiling a almost 40-year-old Doctor Who story, but Peri stumbles in this pod, and the Doctor investigates it, and they're dead.
Yeah.
They're not dead, but that's it.
We don't
This
find
is
this
what
out till
kills-
part 2, but they get stung by the pod or the fungus or whatever it is,
exposed to raw material in the pod.
and it does lead to a nice little scene, which is Eric Sayward's second contribution, where we finally get an explanation for why the Doctor wears a stick of celery.
Oh no, he did this?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Interesting.
So we go
All right,
from
all
the
right.
celery just being an aesthetic addition to the Doctor's costume to actually having a purpose.
Can I backtrack for a bit before we talk about the celery?
Yeah.
Sure.
The pod thing. I just want to point out it's very interesting. This is a regeneration story, you know that, but the fact of the matter is none of this shit with guns or whatever kills the Doctor. It's Peri falling down into this pod that kills him. Because he goes to investigate and pull her out of it. Like, he's a dead man walking it from the rest of the story on, and all the bullshit that fucking happens is just the consequence of him being there and also him trying to get out of the situation. So, he's dead. Now, so, the celery. Shit. Do you want to get into the explanation before I
Yeah,
go?
well, the explanation
off
is
of
a
it?
bit silly. So, usually, previously to this, the celery was never really explained. It was just on his costume, on his lapel. Oh yeah, that's an interesting little quirky thing for the Doctor to carry around. He's got a stick of celery. He never explains why. Here he explains why, and the reason is that he's allergic to certain gases, so the celery detects it and turns purple. And then Peri says, and then what do you do then? I eat the celery.
Do you remember, it was a couple of podcasts ago, you remember you were going on a tangent about the movie Solo? And how it explains a whole bunch of shit that nobody asked about?
One of us went on that tangent.
Yeah.
I think it was Kat.
Yeah.
Same goddamn
That was me.
thing with this celery.
It didn't need to be
pretty
there.
much. Yeah.
Writer's got to eat.
Also, I would like to put in the contribution that it doesn't make sense within the context of the entire Doctor Who lore. Just because if he's this allergic to the gases, wouldn't he always have celery on him?
No, I get the feeling this was not the true explanation.
Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying, if this is the true canon idea that we're supposed to take into account, or at the very least we're supposed to think it's the true one, why wouldn't he always have celery with him?
Because if
Either way,
it did turn purple if the celery's purpose really was to detect certain gases, you wouldn't then eat the celery that's been exposed to the gases.
The celery is the canary.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, here's some smugglers or gun runners or something. Boy, can you tell Eric Sayward was involved in the script editing for this?
Ah, yes. This is a team
No.
of mercenaries or gun runners. And their leader is Stotts.
As I like to call him, Solid Snake.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think Solid
Yeah,
Snake
pretty
spoke with his
much.
accent, but it works.
Although, at this point, don't they instead meet the soldiers? Not
And
the...
that's in a moment. You see the gun runners first of all,
Oh, I must have missed
and
that.
the Doctor and Peri duck out of sight so they're not spotted. They turn around and they're immediately accosted by the entire armed force of the miners.
Yeah, they stumble in on the gun running operation as the gun runners go to hide, and they're like, "Ooh, wow! Look at all these guns and arms that these people are running. Ooh, the dice on the ground are still warm." And then the soldiers come in. The Doctor and Perry just duck behind this crate, but they're in full fucking view as the soldiers just walk in and go, "Oh, look! There's two people hiding behind a waist-sized crate."
There isn't much comedy in this. It's very serious and played straight, but this is quite funny.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, when I wrote down the notes for Stones of Blood, I mean, I wrote down all the jokes that I liked, but I didn't write any jokes down here.
There's very few jokes in this one, because as I say, it is played straight.
Have the jokes.
I mean, let's be fair. After the Megara as a pony joke, there's nothing that can top that. We peaked.
Yeah, Megara Edgeworth is the best joke we'll ever have, and we didn't come up with it.
Yeah. It's like we've already peaked, and it wasn't even our fault. So even if we managed to find any jokes in this, there's still nothing we could do to top
Wait
that.
a minute. How the hell did we peak? We haven't even reviewed the Dead Planet yet.
We might have peaked again with that. That popped me. That popped me. Well done.
There you go. You see, we still got the gags.
He's referring to Joe Vevers.
The worst part of it is, I don't understand the joke.
He's referring to Joe Vevers' recurring gag of the Daleks saying that they've peaked.
Ah.
We peaked in the Dead Planet!
It's a
no.
shitpost making fun of Revolution of the Daleks.
It's in that great parody he did of Revolution of the Daleks when Robertson just gets shot in 5 seconds.
Oh, I remember that.
What did he think was going to happen?
It's been forever since I've seen that, so...
Citizens, please step forward to receive your free vaccination, Ray.
Oh God! I get my second vaccination, Ray, on Thursday.
Yep.
I've already had both of mine.
Yeah.
And I still didn't get superpowers.
I've been stabbed twice, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. I didn't even get that. Right, so I didn't even get a sticker. That's bullshit. But
I got stabbed twice. I didn't even get a T-shirt. I had to make this one.
God.
Anyway, we then meet 80s tracksuits. These outfits are so 80s, it's painful. The General and his Major. And you might recognise the Major.
As a major asshole.
You know what the outfits kind of reminded me a little bit of? It's not exact, but it has the same feel as this.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that. It reminded me. You won't get this reference because it's very UK. In the 90s, there was a fitness instructor who used to go on TV and do workouts called Mr. Motivator.
Oh, boy.
And he didn't wear a tracksuit, but the colours are very much him.
See, I look at that GIF, and all I think of is the Key and Peele sketch.
Yes, that one's really good. It's so dark, but it's good.
Yeah. So, you were saying about these soldiers?
Yeah, General Chellack and Major Salatine, and Salatine is played by Robert Glenister, who would later show up again 37 years in the future as Thomas Edison.
Arrival of one Tesla.
Yeah, in the Tesla episode.
No.
And he did not enjoy his first time on the show.
Oh.
He didn't like his character very much. He thought the plot was a bit stupid concerning him. But it's good that he managed to, decide to come back because he got a much better stab at it the second time around, and he enjoyed himself a lot more. So yeah, he got some redemption.
Oh, I had no idea that was him. That's amazing.
Yeah, he looks very different because, it was 37 years ago, but
Well, yeah,
this was his
but it's
second
like,
acting job on television.
Oh, hot damn.
So he doesn't do too bad a job for that.
We also meet another very interesting character that we cut to.
Are you referring to Morgus?
Morgus.
Or Mongoose, as I'm going to call him from now on?
Or
Morgus, aka one of the dudes from The Office.
Yeah.
He looks at the camera so many times, and on purpose, too.
Hey, you know how Doctor Who never gets political? Here it is not getting political.
Doctor Who political.
This might be one of the most detestable villains I think I've seen in Doctor Who history.
Oh.
There is absolutely nothing to like about Mongoose.
For starters, he's an arch-capitalist.
Yay.
He doesn't even deserve to be called by his proper name. I'm going to call him Mongoose.
He's Jeff Bezos.
So among us here...
No, he's not Jeff Bezos, because even Bezos gives money back. I mean, not enough, but...
Right.
It's Bezos.
We're not gonna have any praise of Jeff Bezos on Doctor.
I didn't say I praised him. I said he gave some money back and not enough. That's not praise.
Yeah, and technically Mongoose did as well when he gave the president some of that stuff.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm still not going to
So
praise
he does give back to the people.
But yeah,
since he's also
Mongoose and his
power
long-suffering
money-hungry
assistant,
person.
Timon.
Jesus.
This woman hates him, but she has to hide the fact that she hates him.
Oh yeah.
For the sake of a continued employment/life.
Yeah.
I have to say the twist that's at the end, when we find out a little bit more about her, that I really like.
Oh yeah, this guy gets his just desserts in about 3 different ways.
But before that, we just got to point out that he's here, and this arch-capitalist is around, and he's a real piece of work.
He really is, and he's kind of... Well, he's more involved in this than you would think.
He's also, like Kat said, acting very... it's very theater-like, isn't it? It's almost Shakespearean, the way he turns to the camera and monologues. For dramatic effect. So now the hunt is afoot.
Yeah.
He's very much leaning into the audience and being like, look at these idiots. Let me get one over on them. And then he leans over and does it.
He contacts the general and Major Celatine and says, we've caught these 2 gun runners, and what are we going to do with them? And he says, let me see them. And then when he sees them, he loses interest to have them executed immediately.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, I don't know if this is a thing for against Doctor Who or just the serial in general. You kind of can call what Morgus is doing in, like, the very beginning. As soon as you get this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
It's like, as soon as I got this scene, I was going to be like, oh, okay, so he's also working for the rebel faction or whatever they are.
It's not explained here yet, because that would be giving the game away too early. But the reason why he loses interest is because he expects it to be 2 other people.
Yeah.
Not 2 strangers he's never met before.
Yeah, so he's just like, oh, these are just some random people. Kill them.
So he's also, Chelak is also like, well, maybe we can interrogate him, get him to give away...
No, kill them.
Get him to give away the conspirators. No collaboration, kill them.
Yeah.
Speaking
of the general, I do like the scene where he's trying to interrogate the Doctor and Peri.
Oh, yeah.
And he keeps insisting on being called Sir.
And whenever one of the Doctor or Peri forgets, the other adds, Sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
That's funny.
And then he's just like, don't patronize me.
Yeah, he pretty much says that.
Although I do like how after the call from Mobius Strip, immediately he's like, the Doctor says, we're innocent. And he is like, well, I'm starting to believe you, but unfortunately, I have orders, and I have to follow those orders.
Oh, good, the Nuremberg defense.
God.
Yeah.
Well, am I wrong?
No. Not really.
Anyways, we move on to a GIMP.
Yeah?
Yes, we move on to the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, that's good.
You know what the worst part is? He's not wrong.
This
He's
is
not.
a fascinating character.
This is a gimp.
We only see glimpses of him in the first part.
We're working on POV shots.
But we see, like, his mouth smiling, this little sick smile. We see a shot of his eye at some point. We see shots of him from behind. It's a figure decked out in leather.
A gimp suit.
With a black and white gimp mask. You've got to see him to believe him, to be honest with you. This is quite the interesting character.
Yeah, and
He's
here
awesome.
we have the really gross part where he's actually able to watch the whole thing between Mobius and Shellac. And, you know, they're talking, doing the scene we just saw. And he notices Peri. And, you know, Peri is there to be eye candy, so he gets really interested in the eye candy.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yikes.
this is a thing throughout the entirety of the serial.
I mean, it's a thing for the entirety of Peri's time on Doctor Who. Need I remind you of the next story? I find her pleasing.
Oh God! And they failed to give her the Jabba the Hutt choke him to death bit. Yeah,
They did.
Okay, so
Oh hey, a gas grenade attack.
yeah, the miners are ambushed by the mercenaries, and the entire patrol is wiped out. And we find out from Shellac that his men are fighting against android rebels. Which is interesting because those gun runners are definitely not androids.
Or are they?
Star Wars music.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Where's my Star Wars music? I need to put that up now.
I mean, I'd like to not get DMCA'd.
Oh, alright, fine.
Damn you, Disney.
Damn you, Disney, indeed.
Damn you, Disney, for changing the entirety of copyright within the United States of America just because you wanted to keep a rat.
Mood.
Mm-hmm.
Big mood.
And so, yeah, the Doctor and Peri are going to be executed, but not straight away. They're taken to the cells. Because Charlotte's like, well, you know, I think you might be telling the truth, but I have to execute you because, you know, orders. Like I said, the Nuremberg defense. I won't apologise for that. And the Major Celatine takes them to the cell, and the Doctor thinks that something is up with Celatine. He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just too bad that Peri's kind of distracted because her legs are really itching and she has this horrible rash going on. It's weird.
And that
The
same
doctor
rash
has
is on the Doctor's hand as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm
And
sure
the
it's
doctor-
nothing.
The Doctor is also wondering. They were because these guys at some point were talking about something called Spectrox. What is Spectrox? Well, as we find out when the I guess Androzani Major President visits Morgus, Spectrox is a
I
super
know what it
valuable.
It's a song by Florence and the Machine. No, wait, that's Spectrum. Sorry.
Yeah, you were close enough. So yeah, we meet the president of Androzani Major, or as I like to call him, the cat from Red Dwarf.
What?
What?
I don't mean an actual cat. There is a character in Red Dwarf called Cat who's a half human, half cat hybrid, and he looks a bit like this guy.
I see.
Meow?
I suppose also, kind of looks a bit like Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man. Is it Demolition Man? Anyway.
Well,
I'll fix it
Spectrox.
in editing, but yeah, I know who I'm talking about. So the president then,
I mean, yeah, Wesley Snipes was in Demolition
he
Man. as
he
the
meets
main
Morgus
villain.
at his business HQ, I guess you could call it. And Morgus offers him a gift. He gives him some Spectrox from his own personal supply.
Only 10 centimeters.
Yeah, and the president makes an offhand remark about how it will make him feel younger. And that's explained later on when you find out why this Spectrox is so valuable, why people are prepared to kill for it.
it's a restorative for humanity that helps you live longer.
But all
It's
is
the
not
fountain of youth.
all is not going so well for old Mongoose here because the president is under pressure to pull the plug of the entire operation on Androzani Minor. And obviously, if you do that, then Mongoose will miss out. Will lose out because he's got a lot of interest invested in that conflict. More than anyone could ever realize.
Less money? Oh no!
Yeah, plus, I mean, it's kind of funny, isn't it?
And can I just say that at this part, there is a bit where...
He keeps interrupting me and talking over me.
I'm sorry. Carry
on. Doesn't respect my guests, doesn't respect me. What else is new?
That was rude of me. Please carry on.
Well, I was just going to say, it's kind of weird how he's closing all these factories and mines in, like, the West Sector. But, you know, all these people who might detract or, you know, rebel against them, they could just go work in the East Sector where, funnily enough, he's building new mines. Crazy how he could suddenly get free labor.
I think that's in part 2, but yeah.
That's in part. Yeah, that's early. It's early in part 2, but yeah, that's.
Yeah.
And in this part, there is a funny moment where Mongoose picks up a remote control for something, and it's clearly a teletext TV remote with the actor's thumb covering up the logo of the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. This whole part is pretty gonzo, just because it's an 80s effect.
And we do get an interesting political comparison here between
80s effect.
How politicians have to act and how businessmen have to act.
Well.
In regards to patriotism. And they specifically use that word patriotism. And given that we're recording this weekend, this hits a bit differently now.
Oh.
What happened?
Just certain events in certain countries about what happens when countries pull out too soon.
Oh.
And leave the populace high and dry. I'm not going to dwell on that anymore because it's terrible.
I don't know this reference, so...
I will say Afghanistan and leave it at that, and I'll explain afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I know.
Let's talk about something a little less depressing. Oh, Doctor Who and Peri are shot.
Yeah, so our cliffhanger... Yeah. So our cliffhanger... Was not expecting that. Our cliffhanger is, as Frezno has just rightly said, the Doctor and Peri are led out of the cell. They're given a red cloth to cover them. And the President is very upset by this, saying, this is for soldiers only. It's a disgrace. Because they're watching it. They're watching the execution live on TV.
Back in my day, they shot people like that in the back.
Closed circuit. And, the General goes through all the emotions. Have you any last declaration? And the Doctor says only that we're innocent. Peri just tells them to get on with it. And incredibly, they get on with it. The last word of the episode is fire, and they fire.
You see the guns being shot. It's like, how the hell's Doctor Who getting out of this one?
And then in part 2, you see the bodies being hit by the bullets.
How the hell's Doctor Who getting out of this one?
I am going to say, I kind of guessed what was going to happen, and then I was proven right.
Well, I mean, they're not going to shoot the two leads.
Well, no, yeah, but it's a little obvious what they're going to do.
They're playing up the fact that it's Peter Davison's last story.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you ramp up the tension, you provide several false moments where he could die and regenerate.
Was it known that it was his last story?
Yes.
It was.
Okay. Just making sure.
Because prior to this, there had been 3 stories. This was the 3rd story in a row where a character departed the series.
Yep.
There was Tegan, then there was Turlough, and then there was the 5th Doctor. So they were getting rid of all of the ties to the 5th Doctor era, so they could start afresh with the 6th Doctor. Apart from Peri, who was very much a 6th Doctor companion and not a 5th Doctor companion.
So what you're saying is Peter Capaldi was the 5th Doctor, and then they got rid of everything to do with his series, and then immediately moved on to 13?
Yes.
The 12th, but yes.
Colin Baker?
Yes.
I think we just said that she's been Colin Baker at this point.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep mentioning it because it is depressing the hell out of me.
No, I need to keep mentioning it because it needs to be reminded.
All right.
Chip Wallace.
Anyway, so the way that the Doctor and Peri got out of this is that the people who got shot were actually android doubles of the Doctor and Peri.
Yeah.
I gotta see if I can find it. Hang on.
And they've been saved by Shara's Jack.
The fandom of the opera.
Get your own jokes.
I was mirroring you.
Yeah.
There, see? I got... Oh, cat!
I mean, that's exactly it.
That's perfect.
They did capture the stunt doubles.
And this is where we get, according to my notes, the whole thing where the president is on to Morgus' scheme. Oh, hey, if you close all the factories in the West and take all the people as prisoners to the labor camps in the East, why, you run the factories. You get unpaid slave labor and make money.
Yeah. They'll be working for you again. Just this time, you won't be paying them.
And Morgus is just like, oh well, I hadn't thought of that actually. How
Also,
strange.
can I just say, seeing this scene play out in 2021 in America when I only just recently got a new job, it's a little hard.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in one story, we've been hit hard by Afghanistan and the labour market. Great.
If anybody's interested, I used to live in Virginia. Look up the interesting stuff that's been happening with unemployment in Virginia, and see the hardships I've had.
Oh boy.
I do like
7
the way
months.
that I do like the way that Mongo. I'm sorry for your unemployment woes, but
Thankfully, it's all taken care of now.
I know you've got another job. Fantastic.
Yay!
Hooray.
I hope you really
money.
enjoy it.
I will.
So I do want to just point out that is it John Normington is Mongoose's actor here?
Whoever it is, I don't know.
I do like the way he said when he says, they'll be working for you again, and this time you won't be paying them. I hadn't thought of that. I like the way he delivers that line.
He's good.
He's like completely
Very
devoid of
bad.
emotion and morals, and he is just an asshole.
So a capitalist.
Jeff Bezos.
I'm not gonna. That's too much of a hornet's nest to kick over.
So a capitalist.
It's too much of a hornet's nest. So
Jeff Bezos, she says, after just using Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. and
Bezos,
playing a movie
singling
was
out
on
individual
Amazon.
asshole capitalist billionaires is fair enough. But say every capitalist is an asshole. That's a bit of a reach I'm not prepared to make.
Now, Kat, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Yeah. It's pretty much a. You can try to say, oh, I'm going to boycott this and I'm going to boycott that, but sometimes you have no other choice.
Oh boy,
It's like Walmart. You can try and say you're going to boycott Walmart, but in some places, that's all there is. It's
hey, do
just
you remember when the
Walmart.
show was about Doctor Who? I remember the show was about Doctor Who.
Let's talk about Shara's
Join us
Jack.
next time for our next podcast where we're going to talk completely about capitalism.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. So.
Oh yeah, it's my pick again. Next time we review Kerblam again.
Oh
No.
my god. No, but you may have given a hint as to what you're picking next.
I'm conflicted, but
I wonder if you've got the balls to pick that next. We'll find out. But
the balls to pick what?
oh, I'm not going to say because then you'll pick it.
Oh,
You can't pick Kablam,
I can't pick Kerblam.
but you can pick a story that's similar to Kablam,
I mean, technically he could pick Kerblam and then...
and then we veto it because we've already done it.
Well, I mean, okay, so there are at least 3 things you could be talking about here.
Yeah, let's talk about
You know,
Sharon.
you know what? Tell me if I'm on the money.
I will.
Tell me if I'm on the money
Let me
here.
tell you if it comes in. It's one of those.
I'm assuming it was that one.
It's one of those. I'm not going to say which one because you'll pick it.
Rain. I tell you, I'm conflicted. I was planning on picking one of those, but I mean, I had another idea.
Okay, well, we'll find out what that is later on. But trying to desperately
Anyways.
drag this back to what it should be. We meet Shara's Jack officially for the first time. We've forgotten to mention that he's actually in league with the Gunrunners.
He sure
You
is.
see him talking to the leader of the Gunrunners, Stotts. And there's a very fun scene coming up with Stotts. But firstly, Sheriff Jack at first appears to be, perfectly charming and reasonable. He's like, I've saved you. I've used my androids to fool these idiot soldiers into thinking that you're dead. So now you're safe. And we'll just be leaving. Oh, you can't leave.
Oh no, you're gonna stay down here forever with me.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Why do you think I'm making Phantom of the Opera jokes? Yeah, exactly.
Goody.
Still my favourite musical of all time, by the way. Still my favourite musical of all time. I want to see that live at least once before I die.
I want to see Wicked before I die.
I'm sure you'll manage that. And we get an interesting thing here where Peri is cramping up.
Yeah.
And that will become important later on. And Sharazjet, continuing the Phantom comparisons, is basically treating Peri like his own personal Christine because he is besotted with her.
He likes beauty.
I find her pleasing.
It's not quite as bad as that.
It's still pretty bad.
It is, but that's in part 4. But he's entranced by her beauty. He loves beautiful things. And interestingly, this time the Doctor is considered the expendable one.
Mm-hmm.
He does compliment the Doctor on his intellect. He accepts that he's very intelligent, perhaps an equal to his own considerable intellect.
Almost.
But it's like, if I need someone to die, you're the one that's going to die, because I'm not going to sacrifice myself, and Peri's too beautiful. You're it, Doctor. And we also get the explanation for why this Spectrox thing is so damn valuable. Who wants to live forever?
Damn it, I was just thinking that.
Who wants to rule the world? Wait, oh shit.
I mean, yes and yes.
To rule the world.
To both of those, because Spectrox, according to Sharazjet, it can slow down the aging process indefinitely. So when he says, you're going to stay here forever with me, he's not talking figuratively. He means it.
Damn. So I just want you to think here, and because Spectrox shit is so valuable, and also so it would be revolutionary for people, living forever, healing, keeping people alive. And here we've got a bunch of goddamn capitalists going, mine, all mine, all mine.
It's kind of funny that they're even selling it. You think the capitalists would be the only ones taking it, so then they can live forever and always have money.
Basically, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm not sure Jack. I knew somebody was going to mess it up, and I knew it would probably be me. I don't think Sharazjet is a capitalist because, yes, he has stockpiled all the Spectrox he can get, but it's not just for his own personal benefit because he has a plan.
Revenge plan?
It's a plan of revenge, but he knows that, the people are clamoring out for Spectrox. He says, well, they can have all the Spectrox they want if they give me Morgus's head.
Dun, dun, dun.
There is some sort of long-standing grudge between these two men that is slowly explained over time.
So I think it's time that I come forward. I am Jack. I am the person who played him. This is me.
Well, the person that actually plays Sharazjet is...
Mood!
The person who actually plays Sharazjet is Christopher Gable.
Do we have to switch seats now, Kat? Or you guys go and eat the rich?
Oh, I've always been like that.
Hell yeah!
To my virtual left, and to my virtual left, and to my virtual left.
To your virtual left and to your virtual opposite left.
Yeah. To my virtual right, no, my other virtual right.
Go on about Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher Gable plays Sharazjet, and he had worked with the director before. Is the director or the producer? I want to get this right because it's quite amusing. In fact, they had worked together so much that Christopher Gable had an affectionate nickname for the producer/director.
Uh-oh.
Twinkle.
Twinkle!
And he had to convince him to not use that nickname around on the set because they would have lost all respect for him.
All right,
Well, I've already lost all
And Peter
respect for
Davison
him.
did say that if he'd known about this, he would have... Graham Harper it is. Graham Harper would work with him. And he
If
affectionately
I was
referred to
on
Graham
set
Harper.
and I found that out, I would immediately start calling him that all the time.
Gable affectionately referred to him as Twinkle, but was told not to do it on the set.
All right, Peter, in this scene, I want you over next to Nicola. So we're going to do a wide shot. You got that? Sure thing, Twinkle.
Peter Davison has admitted that he would have found it very hard to take Graham Harper seriously if he had heard Gable refer to him by that name.
All I can think of now is Twinkle sounds a lot like Tingle, so I'm thinking of Graham Harper dressed as Tingle.
And I'm not going to... Oh my god. I'm not going to...
Hey, Chris, can you find a picture of Tingle and Graham Harper for me?
I am not going to criticise the actor that did get the role of Sharaz Jack. I think he did a fantastic job here.
He sure did.
But numerous big-name stars were considered to play him instead.
Oh, I know this one. Kat is going to lose her shit.
Okay, so we could have had Sharaz Jack.
Hang on. Let me gather all my shit together.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it gathered?
Go.
I'll sort of ramp this up. So we could have had Sharaz Jack played by Mick Jagger.
What?
Yeah. We could have had him played by Derek Jacobi.
I don't know who that is.
The Master in Utopia.
I don't know who that is.
He's a brilliant actor, but we could have had him played by John Hurt.
Ooh.
We could have had him played by Stephen Burkoff, Brian Cox, Michael Gambon, Julian Glover, Martin Jarvis, or Michael Jaston. And I've saved the best two for last. We could have had Sharaz Jack played by Tim Curry.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
I refuse to accept this.
And it's not even the best one. We could have had Sharaz Jack.
Wait, Rain. Kat, in light of this information, I think we reluctantly have to play it.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I would have picked the other voice clip he did from that video game, but
that does that doesn't even fit because we're in space and look what fucking happens.
But there's an even better what if casting choice for this character.
Here we go.
We could have had Sharaz Jack played by David Bowie.
I'm done. I'm done. Bye. Bye, buddy. See ya. No.
You're ungathered shit.
Oh no, it's all over the floor. And Bowie is the only one we know the reason why he refused the role.
Because he was busy.
He was doing a tour at the time.
What a miss. What a
yeah, but I don't want to take it away from Christopher Gable because he gives a fantastic performance in his own right here.
He does, but also David fucking Bowie, man.
But we had to address the what ifs.
Yeah, fucking Bowie.
Has she actually gone, by the way?
David Bowie, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Could have been. I mean, this is two major cultural touchstones he failed to appear in because he was also under consideration for the villain in a Bond film.
Which one?
I need something to help me feel better. This.
A View to a Kill.
Oh my god!
Hey!
It's too good.
That's a cute little fellow.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I which one? A View to a Kill.
Oh.
He was he was considered to play the part of Matt Zorin, which would have been very interesting given Zorin's backstory.
Oh no!
About being a Nazi experiment.
Oh no!
Damn it, we've got the eyes wrong again.
I will say that when Chris eventually listens back to this, she's going to lose her shit too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hi, Chris. I'm just as angry as you are.
So much ungathered shit.
Are you angry at me, or are you angry at them for not casting David Bowie?
I mean, we're them for not casting David Bowie.
He was on tour.
I'm not angry at all. I'm still looking at this corgi.
He couldn't get out of his commitments for a tour. So
Yeah, honestly, the corgi is deflating all my anger.
as it should.
That's
It's a
adorable.
corgi. So Jack's plan is essentially stalling.
Yeah.
He's going to stall the soldiers long enough for the public to demand an end to the conflict, and then he'll end the conflict, give him the Spectrox, and then they'll give him Morgus. He'll kill him, and all will be right with the world.
Speaking of Morgus.
Oh, we get two
no.
scenes. We get two scenes here that really give you an insight into two of our antagonists. So we'll do this out of order, but we'll do the one with Mongoose first.
Oh no! One of his mines exploded.
So Timon comes in and informs him of a disaster. One of a copper mine has exploded. A lot of people have been killed. It's like, well, this is a tragedy. Although it does solve that problem we had about overproduction. Dear God.
And it also increases supply and demand for copper, so your money profits go up. How convenient.
Oh my gosh, you know how I just realized? He's not Jeff Bezos. He's Bob Murray.
Oh God.
I don't know who that is.
I will link you a thing, and then you will remember who Bob Murray is.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, while you're linking me that thing, it's never actually stated, but I got the impression that oh right,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
God, I wish it didn't make sense. So
Hi, Bob. See you when you sue us. We have no money, so I don't know what you're going to do.
sue me, bitch. Right. So
the other bit in the scene is wild. Is that it's like, oh well, get all the other workers to wear black armbands and take a minute of silence. Better make that 30 seconds.
Yeah,
silence.
on second thoughts, half a minute.
We wouldn't want to lower my profit margins
And
now, would we?
I'm just going to give a shout out to Timon's actress. The little bit of hidden looks of disdain she keeps giving her boss.
Yeah,
Oh, so wonderful.
Good. So what was the other scene you want to talk about?
Well, this is the Mercenaries.
And yes,
we've said these a little bit out of sequence, but all is not well amongst the gun runners.
Oh yeah, this scene's wild.
They're fed up over the lack of pay and the tough conditions, and nearly getting killed on a daily basis.
And Stas is just like, you want to get killed? You want to get fucking killed?
Yeah,
I'll show you fucking killed.
He grabs Krelper, who's the other named gun runner in the story, and they tussle for a bit, and he throws him over the edge of a cliff, but still holds on to him. Takes out a knife and sort of like puts it on his neck.
No, but Frez, did you miss it?
Oh no.
Oh, I think he did.
Did I? I think I missed it.
You missed a Doctor Who mirror alert.
Which means we can't play the sound effect because you missed it.
Oh no! Doctor Who mirror alert. Doctor Who mirror alert.
And you thought we couldn't play it.
Which means we can't play the sound effect because he missed it.
Well,
I didn't.
You didn't. Go ahead, Kat.
Well, would you like to explain the mirror alert that we both missed?
It's all you now.
Well, it's simple. When the scene first happens, Krelper gets up and he stands over Stoltz, and the shot is through his legs, so that you can see his face through the triangle that's there.
Uh-huh.
When Stoltz gets the one up on Krelper, they reverse the shot, so Krelper's now the one that's being seen through the triangle and the legs.
Huh? Very clever.
Yeah, very good. It doesn't. So that kind of mirror alert, I see.
I usually just point it out when it's like a literal goddamn mirror.
I kind of like the action in this. It's short, but it's brutal.
We also forgot to mention with bringing up mirror alerts the fact that so Stas has Krelper over a cliff with a knife to his throat, and then he pulls out a pill. He's like, "You see one of these? It kills a man in 10 seconds. Swallow down, bite down, Krelper, bite down."
And I think he just sort of holds it in his mouth and then spits it out.
Yeah, and Stas is just like, "Next time you won't be so goddamn lucky. Don't complain to me again."
next time it will be for real. Yeah. Again, there is some fantastic acting throughout this
It's pretty fucking
story. They really bring these characters to life and pop off the screen.
Oh yeah, very intense.
They're all terrible, but
yeah. So back in Jack's lair, hey, it's Salatine. What's
so
he
there was a
doing here?
throwaway line about how Salatine was a captive of Jack, and so it turns out that the Salatine we saw in part 1 is an android. He's an android duplicate of the real Major Salatine.
He's the real Salatine. Salatine's been here for months.
Yeah, and the robot Salatine has been acting as a spy, giving all of the general's secret information and plans to Sheriff Jack, which is why he's been ahead of them for so long.
Damn.
And this is saying so many casualties.
At this point, the Doctor and Peri both complain about cramping, and Salatine's like, cramping? Huh? And then he realizes, and he starts busting out laughing. You're dying!
Like I said, everything is terrible. Everyone is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Basically.
Yeah. Because he thinks that now that Jet's got new captives to entertain him, he'll be killed because he's outlived his usefulness. But then he realises, hang on a minute, you're going to be dead in 2 days. He's going to need me after all. This is something to laugh about.
Ha ha ha.
And he actually does apologise.
He does actually say, and they have a Spectrox toxemia.
Yeah. He has been down in like the mines, like going quietly mad for 6 months, so I can sort of understand his inappropriate laughter here.
Everyone's terrible in the story.
But he's still an asshole. And
so yeah, there's Spectrox toxemia, and in 2 days, both the Doctor and Peri will be dead. What's the cure? Oh, there is no cure. Well, you could get the milk from a queen bat, but they live deep down in the caves where you can't get at. There's no oxygen.
They've all gone down there to die.
So good fucking luck, buddy. You're not getting any antidote.
Yeah, and it's called Spectrox toxemia, isn't it? And get used to hearing that.
Yeah. So this is around where we learned that Sheriff Jack and Stotts are working together.
Yeah, it was hinted at before when you couldn't see Jack's face. He was talking to Stotts on an intercom system. But now they meet face to face for the first time.
Yeah.
And we get the explanation for why Jack wears his hood and weird mask.
His face is all fucked up!
Yeah, Mongoose betrayed him and left him to live in exile with his androids. That's why he resents him so much. They were actually colleagues. They were working together to get the Spectrox from Androzani Minor, and they were going to divide the profits up fairly, 50-50. But Mongoose wasn't going to have that now, was he? Because, more for himself. So he arranged for Jack to die in a mud burst. And he did it by sabotaging his equipment for detecting mud bursts. So by the time the mud burst was right on top of him, he didn't stand a chance. But he did survive.
I lived, bitch.
Yeah, local man, literally too angry to die. He crawled into the caves, he used his intellect to make the androids, and he took all the Spectrox for himself and then just waited and bided his time for revenge.
I mean, you can't be too mad at him. Oh my god! Oh god.
Yeah, that's Morgoose in a mock.
Money is such a beautiful word.
Morgoose.
Morgoose.
That's
Uncle Moneybags.
That's Morgoose in a nutshell. How it begins this nutshell, you don't want to know. So
okay, Austin Powers.
The gun runners or Stotts specifically, are arguing with Jack, and he's like, well, you're going to give us 5 kilos then of payment. No, I'll give you 2. You haven't fully done the job yet.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You don't deal with us, you won't deal with anyone.
Yeah,
well, technically they did the job. It's just that they also lost the guns that they were supposed to be bringing to him.
We have a Mexican standoff here. We have a bit of a Mexican standoff here between Jack and his androids and the gun runners. They're like, if you're trying to cut us out, we'll just leave. So, well, I can get other people. I have the money. There's plenty of other people that will work for me for unlimited Spectrox supply, so I don't need you. Go away. Anyway, the bluff works, and they eventually do come to an agreement.
2 kilos. And once Jack leaves, Cowper's like, oh, 2 kilos. Good fucking negotiation. And Stotts is just like, you goddamn idiot, listen to me. His stores can't be far away. We can follow him, and then we know where it is, and then we can get all the Spectrox, you dumb asshole.
And they're wearing these special belt buckles.
These are interesting, yeah. So there's an earlier scene where the doctor is trying to get out, and he tries to open the door, and Salatine's like, if you open that door, you'll be dead in a second. Why? Because there's an android on guard, and it shoots people on sight.
It doesn't shoot people on sight. It shoots humans on sight. That's important.
And that's how we're going to get out of it.
Yeah. The doctor is going to just go, look at me, I'm a target!
Yeah, because he's a Time Lord. He's got 2 hearts, so hopefully it confuses the android enough that he doesn't shoot on sight, and it works! The android doesn't shoot on sight, and the doctor gets behind it and disconnects the robot, and that allows him, Peri, and Salatine to escape.
Yeah, and he gives Peri one of these belt buckles because he figures out, so Jet needs something to stop the androids from shooting him because he's human as well. And he was wearing that belt buckle. I know, we'll take one for ourselves.
Right.
He gives one to Peri, he does not give one to Salatine.
Damn.
No, it's okay, because they could totally get one at the next SummerSlam!
Cat.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you right now.
First I made Frez proud, then I made Rainier proud.
With a
and now
tear in
Polly
my eye.
says
This
I'm
is
her
the greatest
favorite.
moment of my life.
Polly said I'm her favorite, so I'm doing great this month.
Damn, you're doing good.
I think I got a rise out of these 2 people with that reference I just made, but that's great.
So, the doctor's going to head back to the TARDIS and get some oxygen masks to go get the antidote. It sure would be a shame if anything untoward happened to drag out the story for another 2 parts and slowly kill these people. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, another android. The doctor gets knocked down trying to protect Peri. He's not hurt or anything, he's just temporarily knocked out the fight. And then Salatine...
But he gets back up again?
Yeah, you're never going to keep him down. But then Salatine uses Peri as a human shield.
Wow, everyone's story sucks.
Because the android can't shoot Peri because she's wearing the belt buckle that prevents that from happening. So Salatine just hides behind her and then shoots the android and it explodes.
Then he drags her back to his base camp.
Yeah.
The doctor wakes up just in time to wander away and look for Peri, and to find Stotts & Co. going deeper into the caves to get at Jack's secret stash, but oh no! Look out, boys! It's a dragon!
And here is our cliffhanger for part 2.
It's the second appearance of that dragon, and it's going after the doctor. Oh no, what will happen?
Well, the dragon emerges and takes out one of the gun runners, but this is daft because I know what the intended effect was supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to, like, claw into him from behind.
Yeah.
But I think they made a bad shot of the camera angle because it just looks like it grabs his backpack and it kills him.
Yeah.
Oh no, my backpack has been taken from me. Yeah, I'm dead.
God.
And the mercenaries open fire on it, and the doctor's hiding, and that's literally part 2's cliffhanger. We do get a fun scene, however, and it's very short, but again, I love the way they flesh out the antagonists in the story.
So part 3 then.
Sheraz Jack returns to his base, notices his captives are missing, and then flies into a rage because Peri has been taken from him.
Ah, damn it! I was supposed to...
I mean, Peri!
Yeah.
I was supposed to score tonight!
Note the... God damn it. Note the... Note the use of taken rather than she's gone or she's left. Or she's not...
Beautiful. And hopefully not going to copyright claim us.
Doctor Who's horizontal shuffle alert. Yeah, so part 3. I talked over that. Please play it again.
Give your cock a cock ring.
That's what I thought you played. Yeah.
Thank you.
So another Merc is killed by the dragon.
I need you to say more funny things, Rainax, so I can put more of you on here.
Note to self, don't say funny things around Kat. She'll just use it as blackmail.
It's fair. I didn't say funny things around Kat. I just said them on stream.
All right,
and
funny
Kat
things
was
online.
there.
You all right now.
Funny things online.
I was born in the United States of America.
In the United States of America.
Good.
So another mercenary is killed by the dragon. The Doctor gets away. And then Celatine turns up at the army base. And Charlotte's like, wait a minute, aren't you just outside? He's dragging Peri behind him, because of course he is, because everyone is terrible. And he says what we've already been thinking, that the robot Celatine, the android, has been passing information to Sharaz Jek for months now.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's like, well, we need to get rid of it immediately. No, sir, I've got a better idea. What do you mean? We use it to spread disinformation.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all. It's unfortunately undermined in about the next 2 minutes, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's have the resolution of the Mexican standoff then, because 2 of the mercenaries are now being killed by the Mud Beast, and Jet just materializes in front of them again and says, "So you came after me, did you? Well, now you know the price for your cupidity."
Yeah, you dummy.
That's greed in layman's terms. That's greed, cupidity.
Hey, nice.
It's a good word. It's a very good word.
I read her books. I dig it.
Yeah.
Because, he's an intellectual, so he uses long words. Even though cupidity is 8 letters long, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
So the Magma Beast doesn't work for Jack, but he's well aware of its presence. And he'll use it as a deterrent if he has to. It's never explained why the beast doesn't attack him, because, you can't control that thing with a belt buckle. It's not a robot.
Or is it? No, it's not.
It's never explained, but I think it's supposed to just be a native life form.
Yeah.
That he either tamed or just kept away from.
He also has a line that's basically like, oh, the Magma Beast doesn't like eating androids. It goes for flesh and blood.
Yeah, that's true.
The Magma Beast, he knew the true name of the Magma Beast, which is Godzilla, and decided to use that to get him away from him. I don't know.
Anyway, with 2 of the mercenaries now gone, 2 kilos is now enough for them because, they've got less people to spread the cut amongst. And Jet does promise an incentive. He says, if you get me my next shipment of gas weapons, I'll give you 8 kilos.
Hey, money, money, money.
Must be funny in a rich man's world.
And then the Doctor shows up again.
Hi, guys.
In the midst of all this, and there is a great little exchange with him and Sharaz Jek where he says, Doctor, why didn't my android shoot you? Maybe they just like my face. And Jek takes the sensor well because he backhands the Doctor.
Judo chop!
And this looked rather convincing, didn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know why it was convincing?
Was it real?
Because it was?
Because he really hit him.
Oh,
Damn.
jeez.
So, Christopher Gable had to wear a mask to play the part of Sharaz Jek. And actually, originally Gable was going to play a different part that they had in mind for him. But no, he actually wanted the challenge, despite the fact his face would be obscured as Sharaz Jek nearly all the time. He wanted the challenge and the greater role, so he took the role of Sharaz Jek eventually. But the mask obscured his vision, for real.
Yeah.
So he swung a backhand, thought he'd missed Davison, and caught him square in the face.
Whoops.
And that's the take they use.
Damn.
There was no dislike towards him for this. He accepted it was a complete accident. But Davison suffers for his art, and he suffers for his art again in part 4.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
But
this whole serial is suffering.
He
Not
gets
in a bad way.
he threatens him. This is wild. He gets
this
2 of his
shit.
androids to grab the Doctor, one arm and one arm. It says, tell me where Peri is, and the doctor lies, and it says, tell me where Peri is. If you don't, these androids will tear your arms off. And if you don't answer me that time, they'll tear your legs off. At which point the doctor says, we'll call it a draw.
It's just a flesh wound.
We had the same idea.
Beautiful.
So eventually the doctor, wants to have his arms in working order, so he does tell him
Most
that Peri...
people, I think, do.
Yeah, absolutely. He does tell him that Peri has escaped. He doesn't know exactly where she's gone. That part is not a lie. And then Stotts, for whatever reason, takes the doctor prisoner.
Actually, he does mention, I don't know where she is, but she's probably with Salatine. And that's what lets Jack know, oh, Salatine is back at the camp. So, oh shit. So that ruins their entire whole plan.
Yeah, and then Stotts takes him prisoner, and he's going to drag him back to the ship. And is this explained why he's taking him back to the ship? Is it like for another hostage bargaining chip, or...?
But Stotts figures he's some sort of spy, so...
Oh yeah, that's it. My employer wants to have a word with him.
Yeah.
Because Stotts here is revealed as a go-between, and who he's the go-between for is very interesting, as we'll find out a bit later on. But firstly...
In a second.
Yeah, the two Celatines now are in the same scene, technically, because the robot comes in to talk to the General, and although the General doesn't realise it, the robot's got X-ray vision.
You can just see Peri and the original Salatine.
Yeah, he sees them through the wall.
Technically, they describe it as heat vision, but...
Yeah, it is heat vision, but he can see them through the wall. And nothing appears to be untoward when the android leaves the room, but then Charlotte's like, I think he suspects something. He's acting a bit weird. I mean, do you think? He's a robot.
So, the doctor's dragged back to Stotts' spaceship and chained up and all that. And then Stotts is like, okay, boys, you get out of here. I gotta call the boss. And then he blindfolds the doctor because he doesn't want the doctor to see who he's working for. And who does Stotts ring up on the space phone?
A mongoose.
Why, it's Mongoose.
Dun dun dun. Do you have a dun dun dun, Cat?
Let me see. Okay, that's not what I expected it to be.
What the hell was that?
It says bad surprise, so I thought it would be... Huh.
That's more like a horror movie cue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that works. Because this guy is a... That's perfect.
No.
Yeah,
that's
so...
Morgus! Oh my god!
It's Mongoose. It's Mongoose.
Stotts has been working for
he's
both
been
sides.
playing both sides.
Wow,
Right.
I'm totally surprised by this and didn't predict it in like the first episode.
My god.
And they my god. They have a bit of an exchange here where the doctor is, as you say, he's blindfolded. He's in the back of the ship, and Morgus is just talking to his employee to Stotts, and he says, "Wait a second, who's that in the back?" "Oh, it's just a prisoner. It's just someone taken prisoner, sir. I think it might be a government spy. Let me see him." "Are you sure
Takes
you
off
want
the
it?"
blindfold.
"Yeah, let me see him." So he takes off the blindfold, and there's the doctor, and the doctor's like, "I thought I recognised the voice. Hello again, Morgus."
Morgus. Now, this pretty much just accelerates all of Morgus's plans because he incorrectly thinks that he's being fucking bamboozled. Because remember, he watched the doctor be executed, and now here's the doctor alive and well as a prisoner on Stotts' ship. So he's just like, something's happening here, and I don't like it.
And he says, "Well, the general is too loyal to fake this. So someone was behind the faked execution."
The president!
Oh my
Clearly
God.
the president! Clearly the president is fucking me over and trying to stop me from making an extra $1 billion. He must be stopped!
The president is on to him. So... Toy Story?
Funnily enough, no.
Oh, it sounds like the aliens from Toy Story.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of does. But it isn't. But yeah,
But it's wrong.
So Morgus basically tells Stats, listen, stay in orbit, because I got to check out what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah, and we'll see the result of that checking in a moment. But firstly, let's
Stats is pissed off
return.
because he's like,
Yeah, let's return to the Celatine problem.
okay.
So, Celatine's got an idea because Peri had the belt buckle and she wasn't shot by the android. So if we reverse engineer these and give them to all our men, the androids will be useless.
Hey.
They'll never see us coming.
There you go.
But what about your android? What about your robotic double? Well, we could send him on a fool's errand. Brilliant. So they call in the android. Obviously, the real Celatine hides away at this point, even though he knows he's there.
Yeah.
And he says, "I've got a treat for you, Major. You haven't seen any action for a while. We've just found a rebel transmitter, and I need you to take some men and go after it. Do a recce on it." And the android seemingly accepts this and just leaves. Unfortunately for the general, his ruse was absolutely worthless because the second that the robot gets away from his men, he just talks to Shara's check.
Yeah.
Oops.
What was the point of this? And even worse, this gives Jack an idea. Because if the general is going to lead the assault, there'll be no men left in their base. If there's no men left in their base, he can come and reclaim his Peri.
God.
It's Christine.
His Christie. So that's the plans there. Meanwhile, the Doctor is not a fan of being a prisoner, so he takes steps against it. He's handcuffed to the back of the ship, isn't he, at this point?
Yep.
And
Yes.
he quietly pulls his handcuffs away from the wall.
I wouldn't say he does it quietly.
Well, he does it in a way that Stotts does not notice it.
Nobody can hear it outside the door.
Let's call it surreptitious. He's not spotted doing it.
Yeah.
But he's still, handcuffed behind his back. But there's this, pink burner thing on board the ship. And he cuts through the chains of his handcuffs with it.
Hey.
It's very resourceful, as you would expect from the Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
I think now I can start to say they really Tomb Raider the hell out of the Doctor in this serial, don't they?
They really do.
It's like he burns himself while he's trying to cut his things off. Later on, he gets thrown around. He's been shot at. He has been shot, sort of.
Yeah.
They got his temple, but
Yeah,
it's just he's really getting Tomb Raidered here.
he really
It's
is.
I know it's his final episode, but you don't need to have that many, gotchas.
Yeah, they put him through the ringer.
Oh, they
Yeah.
do. He gets beat to hell and back. But he's removed the chain. Then I think he puts the handcuff itself through the burner and removes that.
Yeah.
He sets the course of the ship to go back to Androzani Minor to save Peri.
That leads to one of the best moments in all of Classic Who in about 5 minutes' time.
But before that, why don't we talk about Morgus?
We
Yeah.
have to.
So,
The president's meeting with him, and oh man, Mr. President, you should really be careful of assassins. People who want to try and murder you. You should just cancel all your public appearances and stuff because you never know who's gonna want to stab you in the back and murder you. In fact,
you know what, Mr. President? You might be in trouble here as well. Why don't you take my back route, just in case?
Head out on my personal balcony and just have a good day, Mr. President, because I have your best interest in my.
Yeah, he shoves him to his death down a lift shaft. He gets the president to cancel all public engagements because he's fearing for his safety, and then calls the lift. The lift is not there, and then shove, and he's gone.
He calls in the secretary. Oh, something horrible has happened. The president has fallen out the window and he's dead. Oh, no. Oh, but it could have been worse. It could have been me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then he's like, oh, by the way, have the lift maintenance end in your shot.
Yeah. He also, you've missed an important part. He takes
what's
command
that?
now because the president's gone.
Oh yes, of course. Morgus with more power.
So
How
now
convenient!
He's going to be the hero. He's going to go down, negotiate with Sheriff's Chick, and end the conflict. And by negotiate, we all know what he means.
By negotiate, I mean kill him. Mine, money, all mine.
You're not wrong. But
So, coming back to the Doctor, we have this weird effect in front of his face, which, as we'll find in part 4, that's regeneration sickness at work.
yeah, they reuse the effect in the next part.
In the regeneration, yeah. But yeah, it's starting. He's dying, and he's about to. His regeneration is it's kicking in.
Yeah, and this is going to lead to an amazing cliffhanger. But before that, let's clear up what's happening with Peri, because a little bit before Morgus shoved the president down the lift shaft, Jet kidnapped her, chloroformed her, and took her out of Chelak's base.
I find her pleasing.
Oh God, will you stop referencing that?
I'm gonna put that on my soundboard now.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I should be like, oh God, that's
No.
Yes. So
No.
anytime we have some leering bullshit, you can hit the button. I find her pleasing.
Do we have to have a button for that?
Yes.
I mean,
We have a button for everything else.
Do I get no say? Of course I get no say in this. What am I talking about, you fool?
It's out of my hands at this point, Rain.
It's not like it's my show or anything. Oh, wait.
I hate you all right now.
Yes.
Here, Rain. Why don't you talk about one of the best cliffhangers in classic Doctor Who history?
Oh, my God. So, after Jack has had another rant about Morgus and he's scared poor Peri half to death with this, yeah, we cut to the Doctor, and he is inside the ship.
In the cockpit specifically.
In the ship's cockpit, thank you. And he set the controls to crash land back on Androzani Minor to get Peri to try and save her. And at that point, the mercenaries go in and they're locked out of their own ship cockpit. And Stotts is furious about this, so he orders his men to grab the cutting gear, and the Doctor sort of sassing him and say, you might want to find something to hold on to because we're going to be crash landing. I'm a bit out of sorts with this sort of thing. He's putting his seatbelt on to protect himself. But the real genius happens
when Stotts breaks through.
When Stotts cuts through and burns his hand. Pulls his gun and says, now, step on those controls. Why? Because I'll kill you if you don't. Not a very persuasive argument, Stotts, because I'm dying already, you see. He says, I'll give you the count of 3. And then Peter Davison acts his little cotton socks off.
Ah, yes.
Beautiful.
Unless, of course, I can find the antidote. I owe it to my friend to try because I'm the one who got him into this. So you see, I'm not going to let you stop me now.
The ship is fucking great. This is it's just one of the best cliffhangers.
This is operatic.
Even if you know he's going to be fine, it's just the intensity of it. It's
Yeah.
wild.
That after this serial is friggin' Twin Dilemma where you just choke her out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
but
yeah.
this is regularly considered the best classic cliffhanger, and
I
they're
see
right.
why you hate Twin Dilemma so much now.
I mean, I hate Twin Dilemma on its own merits, but God, you can see why people in '84 hated Twin Dilemma because literally, Part 4. Oh, Peri, I nobly sacrificed myself so that you could live. Oh, I'm going to die now. 1 week later, oh, you're an elite spy. I'm gonna fucking choke the life out of you.
Yeah. But
1 week later.
Shut up, bitch. Yeah.
God damn it.
But we're not doing the scene justice because we can't.
It's good.
If you have not seen this serial, I don't care if it's a big spoiler. Please just find it on YouTube. It is on the BBC YouTube page.
Is it? Oh, well, oh yeah. Oh, the scene itself. Yeah.
The ending scene, yeah. And it's just a close up on his face as he closes his eyes and braces for impact as Stott shouts out the number 3.
So, Part 4, Peter Davison's final episode of Doctor Who. So what happens to resolve this amazing cliffhanger? Oh, the ship lands. Ship lands.
It crash lands.
Well, it doesn't really crash land.
Nobody is hurt by this.
the doctor manages to get out of there just in time.
He does because he's got his seatbelt on. He's not thrown about. The gunrunners are thrown about a little bit, but not really to hurt them, but just enough for him to slip out at the back of the ship.
That's enough to give him a head start. And so we've got some real intense shit where the other two mercenaries are hunting down the doctor as he's running through this quarry, just running for his goddamn life while being hunted down.
And there's a rather funny goof here.
Life,
do you know Androzani Mine is supposed to be like uninhabited and desolate?
Uh-huh.
They run by a house.
Oops.
It's a mining base.
No, it's a house. It's just a house.
No, it's a mining base.
It's totally a mining base.
Plot solved. So
not a house.
Somebody, be it Peter Davison or a stunt person, just fucking tumbles down a hill.
Oh, this is great.
What a stunt. And Peter Davison's there lying on the ground. I'm sorry, Peri, I couldn't make it. And just as the guys are about to shoot him dead, a mud blast comes. And, it kind of blasts the doctor, but it manages to distract long enough for him to get away. And he's saved by the time of the mud blast. Meanwhile, hey, Salatine, how's that anti-android belt working?
We didn't cover this, but Sheriff Jack had a bit of dialogue where he told Peri that he knew about the reverse engineered belt buckles, and they were in for a surprise when they encountered the androids.
Here's the surprise.
Bang, bang, you're dead is the surprise.
Yep.
Basically, they ran on a specific frequency, so he just changed the frequency.
I forget the name of this Civil War general, but I think it might be Stonewall Jackson. There was a Civil War general who is perhaps the greatest example of hubris in history.
Right.
Where he's addressing his troops, and they're all sort of trying to avoid being shot. And he's scolding them and saying, "Why are you all flinching like this? They couldn't hit an elephant at this dist."
Dist being the fact that he was cut off by being shot.
He got shot under the left eye before he finished the word distance. It's one of the most extraordinary last words of all time.
Was he for the North or the South?
I think he was a Confederate general, but I...
Yeah, he was a Confederate
And nothing
general.
of value was lost.
Thank you, the critic. I love that clip of the burning float going into the cat's production and just exploding everywhere.
So all these guys are getting shot left and right, and back on the ship. Hey, here's Morgus, and he's hanging out with Stotts now.
Yeah, and Krilper is not happy about this because they've just...
And Morgus is gone full conspiracy theory at this point. They're on to me. They're all against me. They all have. I have to get out of here. I have to get my debts. I have to get all my assets and get the fuck out of here. Oh, they're out. All I wanted to do was...
Jack, by the way, he actually died of pneumonia after having...
It was a Confederate general. I'm not sure which one it was there, but it wasn't Stonewall Jackson. Thank you.
And nothing of value was lost.
I'm not entirely clued in on the American Civil War. I know a lot of history, but I'm not entirely up to speed on the American Civil War yet.
You're asking the wrong person, because neither am I.
I know.
And I'm from here.
That's why I'm keeping it vague, so I don't offend anybody. But wait, no, I'm British. I'm already offending people just by existing.
You said it, not us.
Well, is it wrong?
So yeah, Morgus's grand plan is okay. Well, I'm gonna get all my assets and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. But before we do, we're gonna get that Sheriff's Jack and we're gonna get all his Spectrox and we're gonna be rich.
I'm sorry, but I just love the way you duck I'm British. People hate me already. Thank you for just completely ducking that. Expertly sidestepped.
Oh, and
there.
fun fact: Stonewall Jackson was actually shot by one of his own men.
Yeah, that's right.
And nothing of value was lost.
Oh,
Nothing
great. We're going to get the Confederate flag morons after us now.
There was something of value lost, and that was the bullet.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm liking this podcast.
Anti-capitalism.
I mean, it might get us all cancelled, so I'm not sure I'm liking this podcast, but...
Oh, they can try, but they'll fail.
But
Listen, if we didn't get canceled for covering, I don't know what will.
So yeah, Morgus is in the ship suddenly because there was a scene where Stotts was talking to him, and he says, "I'm coming down to the planet to meet with you in person. Why did you pull out of geostationary orbit, you fools?" Oh, that wasn't us. That was the Doctor.
Yeah.
He surprised us. I'm sorry. He took us back to the planet. It's all under control. The men are off to kill him right now. And you've dealt with the president, so you know we're in the clear. Then, as you say, he makes a deal with Stotts, and only Stotts.
Because no one else wants. Well, hang on. We got to jump around a little bit here.
No. He makes 2 deals with Stotts, but the first one is
Okay.
you come with me to another planet because I may not be able to return to Major because there may be too much suspicion on me. But it's okay. I have a lot of off-world assets, and on those
I'm
off-world
rich,
assets,
motherfucker.
I've got more than enough to live off, and you can have some of it as well if you help me. And I think there's a line about we'll get. You can carry the 200 kilos, and then there'll be 100 kilos for the both of us. Interesting. 402 just doesn't go, does it?
No.
And Stotts is perfectly prepared to betray his friends / colleagues.
Before that, Chelak manages to make it into Jack's place and wrestle with him. And then he pulls off the hood and sees what's under the face, and he's just like... And Jack manages to kick him out of his base and lock him outside just as a mud blast comes and just obliterates him.
Yeah, it just takes his head off. You don't see it, obviously, but...
And now we get to a beautiful scene.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do get to see what's under the mask, and it turns out to be this.
Oh, God.
What
the
the
true horror.
fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, some people think that WizKid wasn't just like a random Doctor Who obsessive fan. It actually was Chris Chibnall.
I don't know.
I mean,
about
to
that.
be fair, WizKid does look like young Chris Chibnall.
Kind of, but...
I don't know.
I think it's a
I'd go that far.
coincidence. I think it's a glorious coincidence.
But let's talk about this. Who wants to talk about this?
Oh, you're the person on the left, so...
Oh, you're gonna give it to me? Okay. So, Morgus gets a call. It's his secretary. What are you doing? Well, actually, he calls the secretary to say so. Okay, I want you to... Are you sitting at my desk? Yeah. Oh, and you know, what about it? I don't like your tone. Well, actually, the Presidium have been around, and you're out, Morgus, and I'm in. So, you're fucked, buddy boy. I'm sitting in the hot seat now. Oh, and by the way, all those off-world assets, they've been liquidated.
Yeah, we know about those.
They've been seized by the government, yeah.
Let me see. So, you have fun out there. I'm just gonna have fun here in the hot seat. So, bye, bitch.
It's even better than that because Morgus is wanted on 17 different charges.
Yeah, and it's like and Morgus is like, oh, this is ridiculous. There's no evidence for me committing any wrongdoing. Oh, yes, there is, honey boy. I've got all the evidence, motherfucker.
Yeah, they have an excellent witness. Who's the witness? Me.
The arch capitalist is getting fucked
And
over.
Stotts and his men are laughing it up in the background, which makes this even better.
It's so good.
Because this brings him down to their level.
Yep.
And if he's down to their level, they can negotiate with him in a much fairer way.
And well, yeah. So Morgus is just like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm going down to those stores anyway. I'm taking all of Is Spectrox. Who's with me? And the other two guys are like, oh, fuck that. No. And Stotts agrees. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll go with you, Morgus.
We've got our 2 kilos. We're out.
So he's heading out. And he's just like, okay, bye, guys. And so Stotts goes to leave, turns around, walks back in, kills them both.
There is a lot of death in this series.
There's a later scene where they really cement this, where Stotts and Morgus are wandering through the caves, and Stats is like, let's get some things straight before we go further, Morgus. When we made the deal before, you were the boss. Now you're just like me. I'm nothing like you. Yeah, well, that's not the way the law sees it. So there's no more of this 4 for you, 1 for me bullshit. We do this, we split it 50-50. And Morgus agrees, but by agree means, you motherfucker, I am going to shoot you in the head the second I get all the money. You bitch. How dare you compare yourself to me, the great Morgus.
Yeah, but we all know that Stotts would get the jump on him.
Somebody will get the jump on somebody because everyone in this goddamn story is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
except the Doctor
we
and Peri.
forgot an amazing little scene as well after Chellak's been pushed out to die in the mud burst.
Mm-hmm.
Where Jack looks at Peri and she sees his real face. And she screams, and the scream makes Cherry's Jack scream, and he cowers under a table covering his face. It's an amazing bit of acting.
God
Yeah.
damn.
They are just going fully on the Phantom comparisons here.
Wild.
This is Phantom of the Opera meets Dune.
Yeah, I can see it.
There are heavy Dune influences in this, and they don't even try to hide it.
Yeah, that's a mood.
The Spectrox must flow.
Now, everyone in this story is terrible, but here, one of our antagonists tries to be a little bit less terrible. Because the Doctor has returned from his brush with the mud burst, and Jack is like morose and says, "Doctor, it's Peri. She's dying. She's dying of Spectrox toxemia." And he's actually prepared to help the Doctor. And this time not because, oh, I'm a capitalist, it'll suit me. He wants to save Peri's life.
So he can fuck her, but I mean,
yeah, so I find it pleasing, but he's still trying to save her life.
And he's helping the Doctor, so not as bad as you could have been.
You could say he's not entirely villainous.
Oh my god, it fucking fit! God damn it!
But it fits! Thank you!
Shit! Fuck!
Try the veal.
Alright.
So
we got a
So
lengthy
angry.
scene of the Doctor heading down into these dank-ass oxygenless caves because, there's Time Lord lore where he can hold his breath for 10 minutes or some shit. So...
yeah, and again,
He's-
Jack tries to help. He says, "Wait, Doctor, I have one last oxygen tank. It may buy you a few extra minutes and help you out."
Yeah.
So yeah, Jack is trying to... okay, he has an ulterior motive, but he is trying to help.
So there is a long bit of scene where the Doctor is going through these caves, trying to get the milk from this bat that'll get the antidote. And while he's down there, Stotts and Morgus show up to go after Jack.
And an awful
Oh,
lot of
no.
corpses.
Oh boy. Go for it, Rain.
Oh god, there are so many corpses. So, there is so much death in this serial, particularly in this part.
Yeah.
Named characters and extras alike. So, all of the miners are dead. All of the androids have been blown up. Because there's a scene where, there's like two android signals remaining, and then Sheriff Jet looks over his little map of the system, which looks like the game Dig Dug, and then. No, it does. It absolutely does.
It really does. It does.
Oh my
So
God,
they're all
yeah.
gone. Celatine gets shot because his belt buckle didn't work. And there's more, the mercenaries are all dead apart from Stotts. There is just so much death in this story.
A
And
bunch
this,
of people get caught up in the mud thing.
this,
The only people who don't die in the story are the Secretary and Peri.
yeah. Yeah.
Because, technically,
Yeah.
Peter Davison's
Yeah,
Doctor
the
dies.
Doctor dies as well, yeah.
I mean, he comes back as Colin Baker, but
It still counts
Technically-
in my book.
technically he
Oh,
died.
apparently Eric Saywood's coming up with the Magma Beast displeased John Nathan Turner. That's great.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So-
And that's the other scene that Eric Saywood wrote. That explains why it's terrible. But
I
So,
find him displeasing.
that's not till the end of it. But
So, Stotts and Morgus come on in.
oh yeah, so Jack was told by the Doctor, we can save Peri's life, we can keep her going a bit longer if we keep her temperature down. And he's got some extractor fans, and he's got like a cloth, and he's mopping her head. He's basically acting like a nurse here, trying to look after her. Unfortunately, Stotts is clever, hears the most from the extractor fans, and follows it all the way to the lair of Shara's Jack. And Jack sees Morgus face to face and flips the hell out.
He
Look what
loses his shit.
And he loses his mask because look what you did to me, you motherfucker!
They fight. Oh no, he takes the mask off willingly.
Yeah. That's why I said, look what you did to me, you motherfucker.
Wait, I'm sorry, they fight?
Yeah, that fits.
It fits very
Yeah.
much. They have a really good fight here. It's all shot like in close up, so there's very little room for stunt doubles.
And Stotts is there with his gun ready to shoot Jack, but oh no! We forgot the android
Or
cell
was he going to
team.
shoot? Was he going to shoot Morgus?
I mean, probably. Get all
Anyway,
the shit from
he fights
Whoever.
with Morgus. Morgus, because he doesn't get his own hands dirty, is pretty crap at fighting.
Yeah.
Jack is like throwing him around and strangling him. Then Stotts unleashes an entire clip of bullets into the man. He's still fighting.
Then an android Salatine unleashes an entire clip into
He
Stotts.
shoots him down with about 4 or 5 bullets as well. So Stotts is dead. Jack is dying, but he's got enough to force Morgus's head into the extractor fans.
And fry his goddamn head. Well, it's just like, 80s.
They
light effect on his
they
head.
censor it with like a green effect, but it's still brutal because
And he goes, arg, and he dies.
John
And then-
Normanson's death screams are
God. So
horrible.
Jack is dying. He's getting held by the android. And the doctor comes in and takes Peri out of there just as Jack's lair explodes.
Yeah.
And, it's a desperate struggle to get out of here. There's mud blasts everywhere. Everything's exploding. But the doctor manages to get to the TARDIS just in time and dematerialize before everything goes to shit. But there's only enough antidote for one person. So he gives the vial to Peri, collapses on the floor. Is this death?
He spills some of the bat's milk getting into the TARDIS because he's obviously dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a scene where he lost control of his legs entirely in part 3.
Dang.
And the gunrunners had to actually physically haul him into the ship.
Yeah. So he's pretty fucked up on dying, but
So here's
manages to
another backstage bit. So we've kind of done it again.
oh no, what have we done?
Well, the Greatest Show in the Galaxy had an explosion that got a bit too close to a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and this has an explosion that gets a bit too close to a doctor.
Oh.
Oh god.
So there are mud bursts all around the Doctor as he's trying to get Peri into the TARDIS. And one went off a bit prematurely and blinded Peter Davison with sand.
Damn.
Ooh.
He was fine, but it did lead to a rather amusing joke where he said that the staff were trying to kill him because he was leaving the show, so they weren't going to let him leave alive. They weren't.
We
Damn.
can't have you. Nobody can.
Both him and the backhand both that and the backhand were entirely accidental and were all apologised for. But he saw the funny side of it because he wasn't really badly hurt. He was fine. He healed
Pocket
up.
sand.
Pocket sand, yeah, indeed. But this regeneration is quite special
It's interesting.
because the Doctor's
Oh, boy.
not sure if he's actually going to regenerate this time. It's like, I might regenerate. Feels different this time. And then we've had Dune. We've had Phantom of the Opera. Now let's rip off Claudius. This
So he's just like hallucinating all
yeah.
these different things, and he's like shining brightly, and then he sees all these different companions talking to him. There's Turlo and all these other people, and
we have
I
all
can't
5 of the
remember the
companions
names
that
of.
he's had during his tenure
Yes.
as the Fifth Doctor that have left. So in order, we've got Tegan, who tells him Braveheart. That's nice. Taylor says he has to survive because too many of his enemies were delighted at his death. Chameleon shows up and says something I can't figure out what he says.
Yeah, I think he says Turlo's right.
Wow, great dialogue there, Gerald Flood.
And Nissa shows up. You're needed. You mustn't die, Doctor. And then, heartbreaker of heartbreakers, who should show up but Adric.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's final word is actually Adric's name. So screw you, people.
But then somebody else turns up in this vision.
It's the Master!
Yeah.
Hey.
And
No,
here's a
die,
fun.
Doctor,
Yeah. He says, "No, you must die, Doctor," and he starts laughing at him. Here's a fun fact: because Nissa and Adric departed in the previous seasons, they had to make a special contract for their cameo appearances.
Oh. Neat.
Guess that's just how business works.
Tegan and Turlo were still technically under contract, even though they'd left, because it was in that same season. But they had to get Sarah Sutton. Yeah, please.
Oh no, go ahead.
They had to get Sarah Sutton and Matthew Waterhouse back to do a special cameo. And I think Chameleon was also departed in this series as well, didn't he?
Yeah, by departed, if you mean fucking destroyed, yes.
That's a departure.
Technically,
it counts as a departure.
So, for this part, can I read out what TARDIS Wiki has artfully put as the summary of this?
Oh boy!
Is it Spinning Faces lol?
The visions of his companions began to swirl, all their voices overlapping together and drowning out the taunts of his foe. The globe grows brighter and covers the Doctor. As the visions subside all at once, it fades to reveal the Doctor's new incarnation, a man with a sharp gaze and curly blonde hair atop his head. Peri moves towards the regenerated Doctor and addresses him by name. The Doctor, now sitting up and fully alert, challenges his now detoxified assistant with the words, "You were expecting someone else?"
Oh, he's here, kids!
Well, son, that's pretty good writing.
Say hello. It is Colin Baker as the Doctor. And he's immediately a smug asshole. Peri's just like, I, 3 eyes in one breath? Makes you sound a rather egotistical, young lady. What's happened, Doctor? Change, my dear. And it seems not a moment too soon.
And that's the Caves of Androzani. Well, not quite, because we get a slightly altered end credit sequence.
With Colin Baker's face.
Yeah, they superimpose Colin Baker, and actually he gets top billing.
Oh, he's the Doctor now.
I guess, but he was in it for about 30 seconds. It's a bit of a slap in the face to Davison.
I mean, he's still the new Doctor.
Maybe they were trying to kill him after all.
Well, and isn't it neat? Wow, because this season does something never before. You don't have to wait to see the new Doctor. You can tune in next week and see the new Doctor in action. Oh, God, my eyes.
By the way, you've probably figured it out because I haven't mentioned it yet, but this was the other scene Eric Saywood wrote.
Oh, God.
The Sixth Doctor's entry into Doctor Who.
Oh, God.
Is the fault of Eric Saywood.
Well, that's not nearly as bad a fault as the Twin Dilemma.
That's very true, but
which we have to hammer home now that you've seen Caves of Androzani, where the Doctor nobly sacrificed himself to save Peri. It really fucks up that the week later he's a paranoid, absolute maniacal asshole trying to kill her and belittling her.
Also, I can drop the act when I said that Saywood actually gives good contributions to this story. I was of course being entirely facetious.
Facetious.
Yeah.
No.
These are 2 of the worst scenes in the thing.
Eric's.
And the Magma Beast is not needed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It just dies off camera, and the Doctor it wasn't your lucky day either, was it?
Yeah.
He never fights against it. He never kills it.
Just there to be a
we never get an explanation why it died. I guess it got caught by a mud burst.
But Rain, we have to have a traditional Doctor Who monster.
I think it says in the. Hang on, I'm just going to check TARDIS Wiki to see if it mentions what happened.
People don't watch this show for interesting character and allegory.
Oh, I see. It was one of the cuts. It was one of the cut scenes from the strike.
Oh, God.
The Doctor would have fought with the Magma Beast, and then it would have died.
The Doctor would have fought a monster.
But they had to cut that bit out. And to be honest, you don't lose anything by it.
You don't. But
you did not need the Magma Beast at all.
So shall we put the cap on Caves of Androzani? Final thoughts.
Yeah. At the risk of being shouted at for being polite again, who would like to go first?
Wow, how fucking dare you! Oh, I'll take first if y'all don't mind.
I quit.
Oh, God. So I like this story. I don't love it. It is not my 4th favorite Doctor Who story. I'll tell you why. It's interesting we keep banging on Eric Saywood because this is better than Earthshock. In the dying embers of the 5th Doctor era, Robert Holmes managed to do a better Eric Saywood story than Eric Saywood ever could. for people who like this sort of traditional Doctor Who story with lots of guns and death and murder, it's the best example of that. I don't go for that stuff, and then honestly, watching it at times, I was just kind of rolling my eyes like, I've got to watch this trad gun bullshit, but there are things to like about it. You've definitely got a bad arch capitalist as a villain. Capitalism is the villain in a way, and everyone is very hoarding of their wealth, and they all get their comeuppance. They're terrible people because of it, and they all get their comeuppance. So that's an interesting angle to focus on in the story, and I liked critiquing that in our podcast that we just did. So that was fun. It's good. It is a good story. Not my favorite. I mean, I'd throw on something gonzo over this any day of the week. Like, give me Warrior's Gate or Kinda or Snake Dance or God knows what else. But this is a good Doctor Who story. You can certainly do a lot worse than it. But, at this point in my life, I don't have time for trad gun Doctor Who in my heart of hearts. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not shit. So, what's next?
I mean, I'll go next.
Rochambeau you for it.
Rochambeau, you lose. So...
No, see, what happens is, first I kick you in the balls as hard as I possibly can. Then you kick me in the balls as hard as you possibly can. Whoever stays standing is the winner.
Well, that's not fair, because you have no... Yeah, you can go next. I realised what I said and just stopped, so you can go next.
Go ahead, Kat.
I agree with Frez. This was a very good, serial. I would probably definitely watch it again. But it's still one of those things where it's like, there's all these bits that are just like, writers gotta eat, and it has the same problems that most classic Doctor Who episodes tend to have. Effects, timing, things like that. It really is fine, but I forgot what I was going to say now. Honestly, I can't really see why it's one of the top rated ones. To me, there's much better ones out there, like Greatest Show in the Galaxy, or what is it? Remembrance of the Daleks?
Yeah.
There's so many R words with the Daleks that it's hard to keep them all straight. The one with Ace and the Seventh Doctor.
That's Remembrance, yes.
Okay, good. I know that those technically came later, so maybe there's some people who haven't seen them or something, but I still find those to be a lot better than, what this one would be. I would still say this is a really good Peter Davison episode. It's just knowing what it leads into kind of detracts from it.
Yep.
It's not its fault. It's really not its fault, but considering how bad they screwed over Colin Baker, it's just one of those things. Otherwise, if I had to watch this again, I would, but this isn't something that I would specifically seek out.
Okay.
Rain.
Well, I can say that I enjoyed this. I thought the acting was excellent throughout. I think John Norrington gives a great performance as a terrible capitalist asshole in Morgus.
Yep.
I'm calling him Mongoose, but that's an affectionate nickname for a dick. I think Glenister is quite good as the slightly unhinged and inappropriate Celatine, and then he gets gunned down horribly. Christopher Gable, to me, is the MVP of this episode as Sharaz Jack. Fantastic, tragic villain. I love the fact that he actually would work with the Doctor just before his death. Yes, okay, it's because of Peri, but he's still trying to do a good thing for the wrong reasons, but he's still trying to do a good thing. I think the secretary that's, quietly and not so quietly loathes her boss is a great character. There's a lot of great characters, even though we have the whole everything is terrible or everyone is terrible trope going on here. Stotts as well, and it's really dramatic. There's hardly any jokes in it because it's just not the place for it. It is the Fifth Doctor's swan song, and it's a very effective swan song. and his death is tragic and heroic and is ruined when Colin Baker takes over. Sadly.
Yeah.
It's not a dig on Mr. Baker.
No, he's fine. He's perfect. You're beautiful. We love you.
And I didn't mention this earlier, but Big Finish did a thing where they have a story that's set during the Fifth Doctor's regeneration.
What?
Yeah, it's called Winter. And that whole spinning thing is supposed to be that the Master is trying to interfere and stop the regeneration. It's not a vision. He's actually trying to sabotage it and kill him, and the Doctor's friends are stopping him.
That's a little silly.
It is a little bit silly and a bit self-indulgent, but I just wanted to mention it because it is interesting.
I prefer the fact that he was hallucinating all of that.
I prefer that as well. I prefer that explanation, because he is dying and he doesn't know if he's going to regenerate.
Yeah.
But I can see why people love it. It's a good story. It's maybe even verge on great story. It's not the best Doctor Who serial of the classic era. It may not even be the best Peter Davison serial of the classic era. But it's perfectly good. And as I say, great tragic villain in Sharon's Jet.
Also, if anybody has the chance, go on Turner's Wiki and look at the different, continuity notes about this, because they're wild.
Oh, God. Fuck. So, then, next time.
Yeah.
I do believe that we jumped a week because we gave Chris a chance to pick, and she gave us Caves of Androzani, and we had fun with it, but I do believe that I'm next on the docket.
It is.
Yes, you are.
Are you going to surprise me, or are you going to be entirely predictable?
Well, you kind of rustled me. I was plotting on a particular sort of anti-capitalist Doctor Who story for our next one, and then you had to call me on it. Well, I had a different sort of poetic idea in mind. I'm gonna mirror Cat and be an asshole.
Oh no!
we you see, some things happened last week. Well, firstly, we've done Caves of Androzani, which is one of the best stories. So, by virtue of mirroring, we should go to another of one of the worst regarded stories.
Oh,
and another funny thing happened last week, which is that Brainiac and I mirrored each other and tried to option the same and tried to put as an option for Chris the same fucking story.
No, has my reverse psychology ploy worked?
No. I'm busy next week, so we can't do this. Bye.
Has my reverse psychology ploy actually worked for once?
Next time on Doctor Who Reviews, whenever that is, David Tennant has a small cameo in Love and Monsters!
Kill me. End my suffering.
So actually, in trying to catch me out, you've caught yourself out, because I'm absolutely fine with watching this one again.
Kill me.
Yeah.
What you have done is given Kat the reason to lose the will to live, so good job on that. I mean, we could be kind if you wanted, Kat, and you don't have to do this one.
No, I'll still do it.
If you are really opposed to this, because I'm going to make a statement that might get me cancelled.
I don't care too much about Love and Monsters because I know the origins of it. It was just a contest. They wanted a kid to design a monster. They put the monster in. I'm fine with that. It's the last few minutes of Love and Monsters that really gets to me.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I can get that. And
that is a very bad choice. But apart from that, I don't think, and if this gets me cancelled, so be it, I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
Neither do I, which is what's going to make it. And, there's interesting allegory at play in Love and Monsters.
There is a worse story just one episode later in that very same series.
And maybe
again, I don't think it's as bad as something like Forest or anything like that. It's just the last few minutes.
Actually, is Fear Her bad or just boring?
That's the only thing.
And we're going to talk about that.
I think Fear Her's just unremarkable rather than outright bad.
Here's the thing with these episodes is that they're not technically bad, but they're campy and childish And that, to a certain Doctor Who fan who, say, would rank Caves of Androzani number 4th on a poll, that's like being Satan.
Oh, so
As
what you're
opposed- as
saying
a-
is that Doctor Who, a certain subset of Doctor Who fans and traditional wrestling fans have no overlap.
There you go.
We can't have this corny, cheesy bullshit in our wrestling. Get it off the screen.
Doctor Who fans when the story has racist undertones. Oh, this is fine. Doctor Who fans when the story is campy. This is not fine!
What is this bull?
Hi there, Jim Cornette. How you doing?
How dare they put this bullshit in front of my eyeballs? What is this toddler shit?
How you doing, Jim Cornette?
So, with that in mind, join us next time for Love and Monsters. Rainiac, where can you find us lovely people?
Well, I know there's something you want me to talk about in a moment, so let's just get over the where you can find us lovely people. You can find us on Twitter at ReviewsDoctor. You can find me on Twitter at RainiacDomaniac. You can find Kat on Twitter at Concave Usurper. And you can find Freezing Inferno on Twitter at, well, Freezing Inferno. Not well Freezing Inferno, just at Freezing Inferno.
You can also buy Back to the 11th Hour by Chris Tier on Amazon.com.
And where can they send us an email?
Well, that'd be at goexterminateyourself@gmail.com.
And Kat also streams at twitch.tv/concaveusurper. Join us for, are you still playing Phoenix Wright?
I am. Things might have to change up a little bit, so I don't want to say Phoenix Wright is going to happen anytime soon.
Right.
But we are still doing Satisfactory Saturdays and then movie mornings on Sundays. And if you haven't been there, go check out our video on Lamageddon because you need to.
Did you actually put the film in the stream this time, or was it just the punching gif from Finn
I think it's
again?
just the punching gif. So
Yeah,
you might have to find it.
Yeah. It doesn't save the movie on highlight. I assume it streams the movie on highlight. On live.
Yeah, when it's live, it shows the movie. When it's not live, then it keeps the movie out because it is technically a paid service.
I see.
Yes.
So you only see the movie if you see it live, and then you see the
But
gif if you
fun
watch the
fact,
vlog.
Polly actually went and found that it's also on something called Tubi. So if you have that,
I'll be able
There
to
you
find
go.
it. I'll be able to find it. But
You will have an experience.
I'm sure I will. It's only like 90 minutes long, isn't it?
Speaking of experiences that you've had, Rainiac.
Okay, we have to get to this shit. So I have
Chris,
now
don't listen to
seen.
this part.
I have now seen the end. Yeah, Chris, don't listen to this part. I have now seen the end of the first series of Symphogear. In fact, I'll put a thing like, Symphogear spoilers, skipped up, whatever.
Thank you.
For the benefit of those who don't want to know about this wonderful, in inverted commas, series.
What?
I'm joking. I just did that to
If
push
you
your
don't know
buttons,
about
and it
this
worked.
series, then obviously you haven't been paying attention to any of Frez's tweets. in
Magical
which
girls
case
who use
one more
songs to
option
fight. I'm not going to go too much into specific story details because, that's unfair.
Yeah.
But the last 3 episodes of this show are a hell of a thing.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
So this show introduces the best character and then apparently kills her off 5 episodes later. But it's okay because she didn't.
But then it says, oh, they died anyway. And then they didn't.
Yeah. It's okay, she had another guy.
And then they died, but they got better.
The antagonist is...
I'm not dead yet.
Her scheme
I
is
feel happy.
incredible. It touches on Norse mythology. It touches on the Bible.
It touches your heart.
It implies at some point she was Julius Caesar. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to know what I think about it? It's not bad. It's got some interesting concepts. It tugged on my heartstrings. I want to strangle the writers at least twice.
And then he watches season 2.
And then I want to
he
strangle the writers all
really
over again.
wants to,
Yeah.
And then he really wants to strangle the writers.
I
but
have made a
we'll get to
Faustian bargain that I will start season 2 this week.
that. Yes.
Good.
Good.
And watch at least,
Good.
let's say, 3 to 4 episodes at least. Before we do the next podcast.
Let me hang on. I need to check the episode guide just to see where that will put you.
I mean, bear in mind I do have other things to be doing throughout the week as well.
Give me a moment.
Like
I
edit
will
this
check
and wash my hair and
list.
other things that take a moment.
Episode 4. Uh-huh. Da, 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 da. Ah, episode 4 goes. Hey, Rain.
Yeah,
Think you can make it 5 this week?
I'll try. They're what? They're at 20 minutes each if you skip the intros.
Frez, can you just link me something to make sure I know exactly which one 5 is? Because I think I know, but I need
But
to
the
be sure.
intros,
One
actually,
second.
the intros are all right.
There you go, Kat.
Yep, I know exactly what it is.
So yeah, I will. All right, I'll do 5
Thank you.
because we're going to meet up again. What, next Sunday evening?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, if I do at least one episode per day or night, that's 5.
That's good.
I
Yeah.
think I can fit that into my
Yeah.
schedule.
Excellent.
Well, for you, we also will meet up Sunday afternoon in order to talk about Sharknado.
I hope I can actually come around for that. I feel bad about having to skip out on Armageddon, but things came up.
It's fine.
Honestly, I kind of wish you were there just because Lamageddon is such a mindfuck. But
I
also,
knew there was going to be
I get-
I knew there was going to be a problem with some of these because of the Sundays, and how sometimes I'm busy on Sunday afternoons. But
Yeah, it's like I understand. It's not your fault.
if I can show up,
Well,
I
it
will.
is your fault, but you know.
No, it is my fault. But if I can show up, I will.
Oh my.
How dare Chris be funny while we're doing this? Also, just because I have this and I want to link it because she mentioned that.
Oh yes, I wasn't going to mention this, but yeah, boobs.
Oops.
Boobs.
And apparently Peter Davison was annoyed because Nicola Bright's cleavage just killed the shot of his regeneration. It really is focused on the trophies. No, again. I still can't find that sketch. I've tried high and low to find that sketch. I know it
Yes.
exists.
What sketch?
Focus on the jugs. No! It's Benny Hill, and he's like talking to a cameraman who's going to an awards ceremony, and there's this woman holding 2 trophies, but she's also got ample cleavage.
Oh God.
And the cameraman keeps moving the camera towards her cleavage, and so every time the director's like, focus on her jugs, no. Focus on the trophies, no. Because 70s humour was funny like that.
Anyway, say goodnight, Rain.
Good night,
Rain.
Rain. So join us next time. Thank you to Chris for picking Caves of Androzani, completely by happenstance. I think we had a good time with it. And join us next time when Kat has a nightmare and we watch Love. And we watch Love and Crying. I have given you the out if you don't want to do this one. That's not a bit. If you want to pull out of this, you can do.
I didn't pull out of the arachnids. I ain't pulling out Love and Monsters.
Okay, but now we'll hold you to it.
Don't worry.
Well-
I will never pick Planet of the Spiders for you to do.
No, I won't either. Join us next time for Love and Monsters.
Darn it.
Until then,
Just trying to cut you off from saying it.
for Love and Monsters. Until then, bye for now.